Hi everybody, it's Will NY4, and I'm here again today with another video in my series on how this fantastic mod transfers spaceships across universes, SFSE, has revolutionized, at least for me, the process of building ships. As I've said before, I've kind of made my living, so to speak, in Starfield on the settlement building side of the game. But with this mod, I'm now able to do what I like best, which is to learn by example. That is to say, by importing ships that other guys that know what they're doing have built, I've learned an awful lot about how to do it myself. And that's what I think the real value of this is. So in this series, I'm going to show you the ships that I have imported, a little bit about them, and what I've learned from it. So I think that you'll benefit it if you stay with me. I'm sure if you've been watching the mod page on NexusMods, that you'll see that this guy, DrBit18, over in Germany, has downloaded now 20 ships, and they are a tremendous variety, from the very simple, that is to say, with just vanilla mods and habs and so on, all the way up to very complicated involving a number of really, really beautiful mods that are available. So I'm going to start by going through his mods. He's published 20 of them. And I'm kind of divided. I haven't imported all of them yet. I'm still working on it, but I've done a bunch of them. So I'm going to have 2 and maybe 3 videos. I'm not sure. We'll see how long it takes. But I've kind of divided it up into the videos that required free mods, either on NexusMods or on Creations, and then a few that do require paid mods from Creations. So let's start with the free ones. So to start, we'll begin with Vengeance Alpha, which is a ship that only requires a few mods, TN ship mods, the all-in-one, DarkStar, erste, dynamics, which will probably be required for almost all of the mods. Then the one-of-a-kind ships is a docker and bay mod. And then this recut for better flips is also required. So let's go take a look at the ship. Well, here are the basic stats for the Vengeance Alpha. You see that it's got fair mobility and fair top speed, but very handsome ship. It's C-class, and there's another picture of it, but let's see it actually in person here. All right, let's go take a look inside. Now you'll notice that most of the habs are empty. I'm sure when Dr. Bit built this ship, he put lots of stuff in it. But as you guys know, and if you followed my videos on this, very little of interiors come forward. Only a few categories of items, furniture, miscellaneous, and terminals come for sure. Most everything else doesn't. And as a result, you can see there's a lot of junk on the floor that was part of his interior furnishing. Here's a standard all-in-one, and into a mess hall. You can see this would be a great ship to use if you wanted to have a palette to paint on, because it's empty and you can add a lot of stuff to it. Well, okay, that's the interior. Now let's go and take it up in the air and see how it flies. So it's got a full complement of the sail engines, 6 of them. So it's not particularly fast, but it has a good complement of weapons, and it does move around. As I said, I think this is a good ship to practice on. Next, we have the DrBit18 Kitty. And this one requires even less, just the TN all-in-one, DarkStar astrodynamics, and one-of-a-kind ships. Well, let's take a look at this one. Here you can see that this is slightly more mobile and a little bit faster. It's a smaller ship. It's a B-class ship. So we'll go take a look at the outside first. I was still using my boost pack with these early overhead views. I later thought, why don't I use the free camera mode? That'll be a lot nicer than this kind of jump and up and look, but that's the reality, at least as a novice. So, okay, well, let's go over and climb aboard and see what it's like on the inside. So it looks like we enter into a little all-in-one, but again, these are just vanilla setups. I mean, here's a workshop, and as we move around, I think that this is probably, what is this one? It looks like a computer core of some kind. And this is a door that goes out into this all-in-one. That ladder down there goes down to the docker. So we're not going to go take that jump right now. And as you can see also in this one, it's kind of barren because he had a lot of interior mods which he included in the description, but the reality is, as I said, not much comes forward. So, a very nice cockpit. Let's jump in there and we'll see how this one flies. So not a lot of extra power here. And you can see speed's pretty good. We're up over 600 before the boost stops. So I believe that this would work very well in any kind of maneuver situation. Next we have the Menher. And you can see that this one now starts to hit a lot of different mods. We have Owltech and Owltech and Matilija, and we have Derretech, DarkStar, TN. I mean, there is a lot happening here. So let's go take a look at this one. Okay, well, we'll go inside and up the ladder from the landing bay, and we see here we have a very nice, I think that this is probably Stroud Premium Edition mess hall. And here is our docker and this great cockpit. I need to check and see whether this is Derretech or Matilija. But if you import the ship, you can find out the easy way. And in the back, we have this nice staircase up to this Owltech reactor core. I think that's what it's called. We saw it before. But it is really cool. Look at that. Now again, because interiors weren't imported, you can see the mess on the floor because everything that was on shelves just falls off. And again, that's part of the SPE setup in the mess hall. And on the other side, we just basically have a big, nice 3x1 empty hab for you guys to fix up any way you want. And let's go over to the other side. I think there'll be a matching ramp that will take us up to, I believe this is an all-in-one yeah. And that ramp then goes down to a nice little bathroom. Well, here I'm attempting to import the interiors. It was successful, but the only thing we got was the Ramtech setup. Oh, I do. On the other, I think I remember that we did get something else over in the empty hab. But you'd be kind of surprised. We have a couple terminals, which are essentially workbenches, and a trade authority. Just to check myself here, wanted to see exactly what this item is, and indeed it is classified as furniture. So furniture with its form ID, with the form ID furniture will come through. It doesn't matter if it's in the furniture menu. It has to actually be classified as furniture. Well, it's a little detour here. So I think it's now time to go take a flight. Okay, we got everything powered up and we have plenty of power to spare. You can see that heavy-duty reactor is giving us a lot. And very high top speed is really great. So the Menhir is one of my favorites. Well, next we have the Outsider, which is really a cool ship. And you can see this also requires quite a bit of extra mods. And we have Trinity, which has now been added to the mix along with the All-in-One and Owltech and so on. So let's take a look at this one. So the Outsider, as you can see, is another C-class with a 78 reactor, pretty good mobility, pretty good top speed. So we'll take a look at this, and you see his combination Docker and grav drive, I think. So here's the aerial view. It's a compact ship, and again, it's got a lot of really nice detail features. By the way, guys, this is all being shot at my outpost rather, on Zosma 5A, which is really a beautiful location. Unbelievable views of the gas giant. Well, you enter here through a screen door from one of a kind. And inside we enter on the first level. And here is that Outsider cockpit. And there's a matching one next door, which I could not get the snapping to work. So I couldn't find a way to actually enter into that other cockpit. It would be just where those containers are, or lockers are on the right. But I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just couldn't get it to work. So let's go up to the second level. And here we have a lot of the Owltech beautiful habs. There's the fusion core. And on the other side, we go right through to that Docker, which we looked at from the outside. And this is kind of like a computer control room. Tight quarters here. And this is all great Owltech. It's just amazing the amount of detail that he's able to put into his habs. I mean, I love them. In the back is the viewing platform from Matilija that's right above the cockpit. So, okay, I think it's time to go down and take this thing up for a flight. Well, when we take this and start to push it, you'll see that it really does pretty well before that boost drops off, even though the engine is really only has a, maybe 25% of what could be possible. So I think this is a great little ship, and you could do a lot with it. But let's go on to the next one. Well, here we have one of my favorites, the Fugo. And this contains just about everything that we saw in The Outsider. A couple little small differences, but this is quite a ship with using the same raw materials, so to speak. Well, here are the stats for the Fugo. You can see a lot of Matilija, and Tiger, this cockpit. So fly up in the air and take a look at it. Well, you can see it is quite a handsome ship. I think those are Owltech, but I think they're the fake engines that we just saw. I love their regular ones. They get a tremendous amount of power. Well, we enter into a beautiful Matilija staircase. Look at that. Hard to believe that this wasn't something that was included in the vanilla game, but boy, this guy's done an amazing job along with Derretech and now others that have added ways to move between the floors without having to use ladders. So this, I'm sure, was filled with beautiful stuff from Dr. Bit, but unfortunately now it's kind of empty. But it does lead us up into the cockpit with lots of spaces for crews. Really another beautiful job. This is a Tiger cockpit. And we actually have another staircase, which we'll get to in a second. And a third. So staying up on the same floor here, we have this Matilija area in the back, and I'm sorry to say I don't remember what he actually calls this. But we go up the stairs, and we have a beautiful SPE mess hall. With its own little private dining room. Very cool. There's no hydroponics in this version, but here's our other stairs, which again, we will get to. But back to the main, we have another floor And these are open halves. I'm not sure what they were originally, but it brings us to this nice Matilija viewing area, I think, which is up above the cockpit. Now, over on the side, we have a ramp that goes down to one of the staircases we saw before. Back into this viewing area that is aft. And over here we have the bottom floor of a two-story, I don't know what this is, but this is a grav drive setup, or exactly what they call it. But if we go upstairs, it seems to me, yes, we can get up to the ramp that goes across the second story. Also unbelievably inventive, and man, it's so hard to make this stuff. How these guys do it, I don't know, but that is really cool. So, okay, I guess it is time to take off. Just let me say, you know, it is possible that I've missed things here. This is not an attempt to, again, it's not a build video. But I hope that I've accomplished something by opening your eyes to what is possible. And if you want to learn how to do this, import this mod and take this ship apart. You'll be amazed at how much you can get from that. But I'm sure I'm preaching to the converted. So let's go up in the sky and see how this thing flies. Okay, everything kind of loaded up. There's a little bit left, but let's see how our speed does. Oh, that's great, about 650. And it does maneuver around quite well. I love Defugo because of all of the components that are inside that I have never used in any of the novice shipbuilding that I've done. So that is one in which I'm going to actually take it apart and put it back together again to really understand how he did it. But this next one is Kobayashi. And this one, as you'll see in a second, combines some of the same makers that we've looked at before, but the particular emphasis on the Derretech and Matilija combination. Although this TIG and all-in-one and DarkStar, everything is, all of the guys are here for the same event. But let's go see how this looks, and it is very different than any of the ones that we've seen before. So you can see this is completely different from any of the ships that we've seen so far. High mobility, pretty good top speed. So look at this. Boy, that is really something. I mean, it has the Derretech feature design of sharp edges and all metallic. I would never have built anything like this. I wouldn't have had the imagination to be able to do it. But it's inspiring how much can be done with these mods and these tools. I mean, that is truly a work of art. And has all the extra features, comm spikes and so on. But I'm sure you can't wait to get inside and see what it's like. The entrance is in the back, so let's drop out of our fly mode and run over there and jump in. Oh, careful of this wingtip, Will. Whew. Very nice. Kobayashi. The Raumtech, again, is the one thing that seems to survive almost all the builds. So, God, look at this. I mean, this is advanced Derretech. There's not much to say. The pictures speak for themselves. It's just, I mean, this is a kind of a standard all-in-one back here. And I don't know how DrBit had outfitted this room. Not quite sure what it actually was intended to be. So let's fly it and see how it actually looks from the pilot's seat. Because from the ground, it is awesome, and I would run for the hills if I saw this thing coming after me. It's like a wild serpent multi-headed insect. It's really staggering. Not super fast, very maneuverable, and the weapon outfit here is awesome. I mean, these things are terrific, and they repower right away. It's really great. Okay, so let's go on to the final ship. Well, I would hate to say leaving the best for last, but this is a brand new one which he has posted, and it's the DrBit GC. That stands for Golden Cobra. So it doesn't take that much. It's DarkStar, Derretech, Tiger, and Owltech, and better part flips. But wait till you take a look at this one. So here is the Golden Cobra, and I've included all the specifics of the weapons and the major mechanical components so you can see what they are. And this is an excellent ship, high mobility, pretty good speed. But the thing that is so dramatic about it is its appearance. I mean, so look at this. So let's go inside. Similar to the Kobayashi, it's the wonderful Derretech and Matilija design sense. Again, these rooms deserve to have really great furnishings in them. Over on the side, we see that Owltech set up again. Mess hall and dining tables. In the back, there's this great view area. You have to watch your head here from the screens. Ay, ay, ay. But now we get to the really incredible features of this particular ship. Again, here we have what I call the fusion core setup. And again, I guess we looked at this before. There is a second floor here, which we have to jump up to get to, and a lot of empty halves again, crying out for decoration. So now let's start to explore up. Here we go to the cockpit. But notice on the sides we have this amazing view area on either side. There's the docker right above us, and here's the cockpit. It's not exceptionally fast. It is maneuverable, and it just looks awesome in flight. And you see the ballistic EM and lasers. And I'm getting up from the cockpit just to go back to the view area here. I mean, that is really special, isn't it? Look at that. Well, it's just incredible what the experiences that Starfield can provide for us when you have so many gifted people contributing to it. I think you'll have to agree with me that DrBit18 really has done an amazing job with these ships. And this is only 7. As I said earlier, he has 20 of them. And they are all different styles with different mod authors. It's really quite impressive. So I can't wait to see the next ones that he produces for us. But please subscribe to the videos. Give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you with the second video, which will focus on the ships with paid mods. Okay, bye-bye.